And welcome to my retirement blog again. We're back at Edgemont Park in Montclair, New Jersey, and they have a senior center behind me. It has a large meeting room and some other facilities. There's a lot of things that they do here. I just came from chair yoga and meditation. It's the second week, and I'm signed up for the third class, but it's basically repeating. So retirement is moving along. In terms of work, I'm really not doing anything but responding to requests, maybe things that the IT staff doesn't know how to handle, even though I've transferred most of the knowledge that I have to this, and things that just break. And in the IT business, there will always be things that just break for no good reason. And some of that I can't really transfer the knowledge to the other staff because, frankly, I don't know what I'm going to do with it till it breaks. But we're sitting here at the end of August, and I would really like to be done as an employee, even a part-time employee, either beginning or end of October. And then if they have a problem and they call me, we can do something. If it takes me an hour to fix something, we'll work something out. And this is coming at a time when we're heading to Sedona in a couple of weeks in September, where we're taking an Amtrak for 51 hours through Chicago to Flagstaff, Arizona. And then we're renting a car, going down to Sedona for some days, and then eventually flying back from Phoenix to Newark. And during that time, I would expect to be pretty much out of touch, maybe reachable. In theory, Amtrak has Wi-Fi, but I wouldn't want to bet my life on it. So that's coming up, and that's really another transition into the idea that I'm just not going to be a part of this process anymore, and I'm not really going to be part of the support system for that. Now, in terms of the opportunities of socializing and stuff like that with the seniors, there seems to be no end of this. There are events held here at Edgemont Park. There are weekly senior lunches at the Montclair Public Library. All of these have to be signed up in advance through a program called MILL, M-I-L-L. And I just joined a chess session here tomorrow. I haven't picked up a pawn in 40 years, but that's not going to stop me. I'm going to play chess tomorrow. We also signed up through I guess it's not really the same organizations, but there's an organization that does bus trips for seniors. And so we found out about it and we signed up. That's the ducks are quacking. So they're going to we have a local professional theater called the Paper Mill Playhouse. We also have any number of community theaters that are not, quote, professional, but do quite good work. And you've seen my videos on the Barn Theater in Montville. That is definitely not a professional theater, but Paper Mill is. And as a matter of fact, when Newsies, the play, came out, they ran it at Paper Mill first. That's kind of their tryout before it hit Broadway. So it's quality stuff. And this particular thing that we came across is a bus trip from Montclair, New Jersey to Paper Mill Playhouse, which is only about a 14-minute ride, but they're going to bus us. And we could have gone to Jersey Boys, which is what they're showing, on our own. But the tickets were discounted, or let's say the tickets were at the lowest price, and regardless of what the ticket is. And they'll bus us there, which, again, it's part of the experience. We certainly could drive ourselves. But one of the nice things about it was that we discovered that two of our friends are going on the bus with us. So again, socializing means taking advantage of these opportunities. In addition, in terms of exercise, I still go to Hard Bodies Gym at 5 a.m. 2 days a week. Generally, I do it on days when I'm riding with the ambulance rescue squad, and I do this because I go on duty at 6 a.m. and I can exercise at 5 a.m. if I happen to be out, although I have been sleeping better. So I get my little exercise in from 5 to 6. I'm looking for frequency of exercise, not intensity. So half an hour at the gym and doing that plus a bunch of other things 5 or 6 or 7 times a week is more than enough exercise for me. Tomorrow I'm doing another hike, 4 miles in South Mountain Reservation. And last week I did that in a different place with the same group. I would say that about hiking. At my age, I would never go on a hike alone, and probably not even with my wife alone, because things happen. I like going with groups of people just for that little bit of extra security. Now, if you're just walking around the lake or something, that's fine. And I've got good balance. I'm not really expecting any problem. It's just the oddball thing where you trip and hurt yourself and screw up your ankle and you can't physically walk out of the hike. So that's going along, and there's all kinds of possibilities there. My wife continues to join me on hikes that are not during the weekdays. So that's whatever we can hike, whatever exercise we can get. So I'm happy with where things are going. Work is progressing towards extinction. The social programs are ramping up, and I'm learning more about them and what I want to do. Exercise is good, but it reminds me that I just turned 69. I really want to get into shape, not like crazy shape, but I'm on 4 or 5 medications, and these things are all because things are not quite right. I really would like to get rid of them. I just added another medication for high lipids, which have always been high. It's no doubt genetic, but I've never had a good lipid measurement in my life. Losartan for cholesterol and stuff. The cholesterol, with some effort, is coming into line. Simvastatin, to keep the pipes going. Methylphenidate for my ADHD. Allopurinol for my gout, which is just trying to get the numbers of my blood down so that my uric acid is below 6.0 per spec. Stuff like that. Now, some of these medications I'll never get rid of. If I have a genetic disposition to create too much uric acid, then I'm not going to be able to diet and exercise my way out of it. The losartan for the blood pressure, I believe I can, just by losing 5 pounds and getting a lot more exercise, I can get rid of that blood pressure med, because I'm not convinced right now that I really need it. I've spoken to my doctor. I had my half-year follow-up physical with him, and he says he'll work with me. I take responsibility for my things. There was a time when I came off the blood pressure medications because I felt I didn't need them, but the fact of the matter is, when I was sedentary, my blood pressure was quite good, and when I was just up and not active, my blood pressure was not good. So I make the concession. I'm being realistic about what pills I have to take, but my goal is to get rid of half of them. My weight's been at 170 for probably 5 years. I was always heavier than that, but I'm only 5'5", so that's not a great weight. Maybe take off 5 pounds, get more activity, and maybe I'll make those meds disappear. So that's it. Everything's looking good. I'm looking forward to what lies ahead. Everything, like I say, everything works, and I'm blessed. And God forbid, you never know what the future holds, but we're doing good. My wife and I are doing more and more things together as she is able to accommodate my retirement schedule and do some things with me at different times, and it's all good, and it's just great. So I guess we're posting, the channel will be posting about Sedona, both in terms of preparations, the 51-hour train ride, and all the things that we're going to do in Sedona. So look for that in the next, that's about 2.5 weeks, and we'll see you next time. Take care.